Better news, last week you got to celebrate Thanksgiving, but I noticed that the turkey prices were through the roof, and I noticed also that Joe Biden and his government officials were blaming Vladimir Putin, blaming the increase in turkey prices on the invasion of Ukraine. Gee, I mean, just about everything gets blamed on Putin these days.
Yeah, of course, Biden's blaming Russia for high turkey prices. I mean, who else are they going to blame? Donald Trump's no longer president. The Democrats have full control, but there is no one to blame but themselves and their foolish fiscal policy, their inflationary spending. And let's not forget, Chris, this inflation started long before Russia invaded Ukraine. In February of this year, right before the invasion, consumer prices were already up 7.5%. But, you know, it's just easier to blame Russia rather than fix the root problem. I mean, at this point, Russia is to blame for the 2016 election, for high gas and food prices, for inflation, for everything that ails America. I mean, it's just a great excuse.
Yeah, in fact, Russia was to blame for Donald Trump being elected in the first place, apparently. Let's have a look here at Joe Biden, though. The number of things, especially price-related, that he's blaming on Putin.
Putin's war is already hurting American families at the gas pump.
70% of the increase in prices in March came from Putin's price hike.
The second big reason for inflation is Vladimir Putin. Not a joke. The Putin price hike. Putin's price hike. Every kitchen table cost is going to go up, not down. It's inching up because of what the Russians and the Saudis just did.
Very simple, isn't it, Kristin? Just blame Putin.
These people are so predictable. I mean, it's all about politics. But the good news for Joe Biden and the Democrats is that next year, when their own policies continue hurting Americans, they'll have the Republican House, in Congress that they can try to blame all of this on. But it's obviously related to their inflationary spending. And, this is just so simple. I mean, inflation literally just means more dollars chasing the same number of goods. This is what happens when you pump so much money into the system that each individual dollar becomes worth less. But instead of trying to rein in the spending and rein in the money printing, this administration is just hell-bent on continuing to spend trillions and trillions of dollars every few months on these boondoggle bills and getting everyone hooked on government checks and pumping money into the system. That is obviously going to make the problem much worse. But, they'll just continue blaming Russia and Republicans in the meantime.
It's a problem. I got to tell you, plenty of other governments around the world making the same mistake and finding the same excuses. Thanks so much for joining us again, Kristin.
Thanks as always, Chris.